Many people thought this company was dead, including myself. Only a few months ago, it seemed like everybody pretty much ran away from the company. They had no money to go on. There was nothing left. Their CEO was in trouble in China. I think he still is, but you know, some magic happened and they got about $1 billion of investment, actually a little bit more than that. We still don't know from which investor, but it looks like it happened, and now they're moving forward with testing their prototype cars. So we're going to talk about that and a few other things, and we're going to start right now. All right, well, so yeah, this is you know, it has taken me a little bit by surprise. I mean, I knew these guys were getting some money, but I didn't really know like what was going to happen next with them, right? And so they just put out a video yesterday, and this is their 10 car fleet with their FF91s. I believe so far we've seen, you know, 2 or 3. We didn't really realize that they had, you know, 10. As you can see, they're all kind of different colors and different 2 or 3 tone in some cases. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm gonna run this video a few times so you guys can check it out. It's a very short video. But what does this really mean? You know, does this mean they're going to be going in production for real at some point? They still, of course, need to build a factory, or at least a small facility to start making it. Are they going to use the you know, the piece of land that they got to produce this car originally, or are they going to try for something else, maybe cooperate with another company? We don't know any of this. Now we do know that they had a bit of a summit for the suppliers, where they got a bunch of suppliers here in the Bay Area, which also kind of meant that they're ready to move forward, start, you know, ordering some parts and different, you know, things that you guys kind of get, you have to get going when you're looking to go into production. So all of this is very exciting. It really does look like this company may actually make it. Don't forget, heavily invested by Chinese investors, so they might actually even make it in China. I doubt it. I think they're still gonna get it done here. But yeah, so it is a miracle, really, if you want to think about it. The only concern that I have is because, you know, they had so much talent and they're all left, that have they made any progress, right? Because even if they take this into production, we're probably talking about at least 2 more years, right? And this car's been around for a couple more years. So if they haven't made any progress in 4 years, that car may have a hard time competing, you know, with Tesla. And now there's going to be quite a few SUVs on the market, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 really by then. Can they compete with it? It's also going to be, you know, they originally announced that it was going to be relatively expensive. So can they compete in price? Can they compete in range, technology, and so forth? So all of that we still need to find out. But nevertheless, some good news from Faraday Future. All right, let me remind you that this stream and this channel is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. And if you want to save a few bucks while you're shopping on their website, go ahead and grab it, a discount code from the description of this video. All right, let's move on to another story. I was going to actually make that one sort of a headliner, but at this point, I don't even know. So let's talk about Volkswagen, okay? It's you know, for those of you guys who don't know, or maybe do know, and let me just remind you then that these guys, they were basically, you know, cheating on here in the United States in terms of how much they're polluting the air. They put some software and hardware in their cars so that when the EPA and other agencies are testing the car realizes it's being tested and produces much less fumes, and then when it goes back on the road, it starts polluting again. Now, they got caught accidentally a few years ago. It was called Dieselgate. They ended up paying up to $30 billion in different penalties in the United States and in Europe. I'm just showing you the promotional video for their electric car. You know, and then, you know, a couple of months ago, as a result of all this paperwork, all these facts being released, all these records being released to the public, we realized they were also testing this, the fumes on monkeys, which was, you know, I have a problem with that, even a bigger problem with the Dieselgate. And, you know, after that, you would have thought, you know, they would. And again, I'm not going to be buying a Volkswagen anytime soon myself. I know a lot of people already kind of boycotting them, but you would think they would learn. But no, at the Geneva Auto Show, as they've unveiled this car, right, the Vision, whatever you want to call it, they decided, you know, they're one of their executives. Oh no, actually, I think it was the CEO, right? It was the CEO company said, you know what? We believe that there is definitely future in diesel once people find out, wait for it, how clean it is. How clean and safe it is, you know, once people realize it, they're gonna once again fall in love with it. And you know, it is unbelievable, truly unbelievable. I hope that just this statement, you know, snowballs and picks up a lot of crap that's still kind of laying around in people's minds, and this guy just gets fired. Because, you know, at this point, the company that pretty much put an end to, you know, clean fuel that is diesel, is you would have thought that they would try to get us far away from it as possible, but he's circling right back and wanting to continue with this. This is really baffles me. I really don't even know what to say. So if you guys have something to say about this, what you think, why in the world they would do this, by all means, put some comments in the chat, put some comments in the comment section if you're watching this in the replay. By the way, I know this is it's very unusual time for my stream. It's 11 p.m. Usually I do it at 11 a.m. I had some commitments for the last couple of days. Tomorrow I am back at 11 a.m. There are a couple of stories that I'm not going to cover today. I'm going to cover it in literally 12 more hours, which is a little message from Elon Musk to Trump. We'll cover that. But for now, let's remember to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I know quite a few are watching right now. A lot of you are watching it for the first time. I see Neil, Arvin, Rook, I think who was the first one here? Terrence, everybody, all of these guys are watching it in the chat room for the first time, but I see a lot of veterans here, Physics, Ulysses, my girlfriend is in the chat room, staying up late for this, Derek. So thanks guys for giving this video a thumbs up. It really helps it out. Now, another story I wanted to cover that's, Goodyear also had an unveiling at the Geneva Motor Show, and they've unveiled a tire that they've specifically designed for electric cars, which I thought was really cool, especially for those of us who have Teslas that have a rear wheel drive. We know, and a lot of EVs have problems with the back tires wearing out really quickly because of the torque, because of the weight of the battery. That's a little bit more than a regular car would have. And so Goodyear has an answer now. They're going to put this year in production, next year in Europe. We don't know if it's coming to America, but nevertheless, I guess they made the threads a little bit smaller, and they've also made them a little bit, I'm not a specialist on tires, but I guess they also made it so that it doesn't kind of bend, that the rubbers, the threads don't really bend as much, but at the same time they grip the road, and they also don't produce as much noise, and they outside they're a little bit more aerodynamic to help the range. So this will reduce noise, increase the range, and at the same time won't wear out as fast because the tires wear out on electric cars 30% faster than the regular cars, and that's what they came up with. So kudos to them. I really like that. And Derek, thank you so much for the super chat. It says $1.99. I appreciate it. And then he said $50. I don't know which amount is true, I think. But anyway, I will get some hot chocolate. I appreciate it. And for those of you guys actually want to support the show, I have a Patreon page. There's a link to it in the description of this video. I post some exclusive content and bloopers and behind the scenes stuff there. So if you'd like to join, that would be awesome. All right, let me move on to another story, and this one is actually about Chevy Bolt. Chevy Bolt announced that they're going to boost their production. Now, that one is a little bit surprising, I have to say, because they have been having a hard time selling the Chevy Bolt. In the United States, the sales are down to like almost, I think 1,500 units in January and February. And granted that usually the sales kind of fall in January, but they haven't recovered as well in February, and they just really don't see that much of a growth. Obviously, with Opera E by Opel in Europe, that's pretty much been discontinued because that's been sold out of GM's control. I don't really see how they're going to be selling more of these, and they're not selling how much of the boost of the production they're going to have. So I don't really know. What the plan here is. I don't see them advertising as much. So good news, they're going to increase production. Not sure how and where they're going to sell, but nevertheless, just like I said, I'm going to count it as good news. Arvin says 52 watching and 24 thumbs up. Not fair. Well, I only, just like I said, if you're enjoying the show and a channel, please click that thumbs up. If not, that's okay. You can give it a sarcastic thumbs up maybe, but that's okay. I know it is late, but I, you know, just like I said, just circumstances. All right, let me move on to as usual, my favorite part of the show, which is the comment of the day. And this one is actually a philosophical kind of a comment of the day. It comes from Richard Snow, and he says that's BS that the tax credit incentives, he's talking about the tax credit here in the United States, companies to sit on their hands and wait till the trailblazers like Tesla and Nissan run out. The tax credit should just be across the board until 2 million EVs are sold. You know, I never thought about it. Now, of course, this is just, we're just BSing here, right? We're just kind of spitballing because it's not going to happen. The law is already in place. But really, I never thought about it. Oh, wow, holy crap. There is a $50 super chat. Derek, I really appreciate it. That's one of the biggest super chats I've ever gotten. I really appreciate it. I'll be able to get more than a cup of hot chocolate on this one. I can get quite a few, but I'll probably put it towards the one, equipment, and two, travel. I'm going to be doing quite a lot of traveling just for different things for the channel, so I appreciate it. I'll put it in my budget. My girlfriend says wowzers. Wowzers is right, and thank you. But let me get back to this comment. So yeah, you know, it is kind of unfair because now Tesla has kind of pioneered, and Nissan, I'll give it to them as well, pioneered this whole electric car movement, right? And you know, James Cook, a guy who does kind of a Tesla related vlog in Britain, I don't know if you guys seen him. He might be a guest on the show in the next few weeks. And today he posted a video saying the biggest Tesla achievement is Jaguar I-Pace, which is true. You know, Tesla kind of forced everybody to start making awesome electric cars. And now they're going to be punished because they're going to run out of the tax credit, and the companies who are just finally being dragged into it by them are going to have an advantage, $7,500 advantage against them here in the United States. And probably the most fair way of doing it would be to say, okay, the first, you know, 2 million is actually not a bad number. 2 million electric cars are going to get the tax credit, and therefore we're going to, and then whoever is going to be the first to make those, you know, then that you're going to be rewarded for being trailblazers. So, you know, never thought about it. Again, not going to happen. But Richard, I think this is a pretty cool and smart comment. So yeah, it is definitely something I've never thought. So guys, tomorrow I am going to be back here in just less than 12 hours. Can you believe that? It is definitely, we have a couple of other news that I just couldn't even cover. Just like I said, Elon's got some stuff going with Trump, which I actually find pretty interesting. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And of course, I'll have more of the comments of the day. I'm actually going to go and reply to all of your comments since I was gone all day. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you for super chats. Thank you for all the comments. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope so will you. Other than that, please remember to stay charged.